Whispers in the dark. The small town of Willow Creek had always been known for its tranquil beauty, where sprawling fields met dense woodlands. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, a chilling unease wrapped itself around the village like the creeping fog that often rolled in from the nearby mountains. Something sinister lurked in the shadows of the woods, and it was hungry. 17-year-old Mia Thompson had heard the rumors swirling around town about animals behaving strangely in the woods. The townsfolk whispered about how pets would return from the woods with eyes that glowed like embers. Their behavior turned aggressive and erratic. Despite these warnings, Mia was drawn to the forest. It was secluded and serene, a stark contrast to the oppressive energy that seemed to press down on the town. One crisp autumn afternoon, driven by a mix of curiosity and a yearning for escape, Mia ventured into the woods. She found solace in the trees, their tall trunks standing like ancient sentinels. As she walked deeper, the atmosphere shifted, and a heavy silence enveloped her. The rustling leaves and chirping birds seemed to fade, replaced by an eerie stillness. While exploring, Mia stumbled upon a clearing with a small, dilapidated cabin half hidden by vines and weeds. The door creaked ominously on its hinges, welcoming her curiosity. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and shadows danced menacingly in the corners. And then she heard it, a soft whimpering. Heart racing, she followed the sound to find a small, brown dog cowering in the corner, its coat matted and eyes wide with fear. "Milo?" she whispered, recognizing the dog as the beloved pet of her best friend, Alex. Fear swelled in her chest as she reached out to comfort the trembling creature, but as she touched Milo's fur, the dog recoiled, baring its teeth. Mia stumbled back, confusion and concern flooding her thoughts. "What happened to you?" Suddenly, a low, guttural growl rumbled from deep within Milo's throat, and his eyes glinted with a darkness that seemed beyond animal instinct. She could have sworn she heard whispers, soft and sinister, calling her name. "Mia, come play." In a surge of terror, she turned to flee, but the branches whipped at her face and grabbed at her clothes. The once familiar woods transformed into a labyrinth of shadows, disorienting and hostile. The whispers grew louder, echoing through the trees, taunting her. "Feel the darkness, Mia. Join us. Join us." Mia's heart raced as she pushed through the bushes, desperate to escape. She could feel eyes watching her from the gloom, and terrified barks echoed all around her. What were these animals becoming? Were they cursed or possessed? How could they call her name? Finally breaking free from the clutches of the underbrush, Mia stumbled into the clearing again, but the scene had changed. The cabin was now shrouded in an otherworldly glow, and shadowy figures danced around it. They were animals, dogs, cats, even rabbits, all with hollow, glowing eyes, their bodies tethered to some unseen force. Fear gripped her, and she turned to run, intent on leaving the accursed place behind. But as she ran, the woods became a chaotic chorus of growls and hisses, her every move met with snarls and the snapping of jaws. They were angry, they were possessed. Somehow, the woods had transformed them, twisted them into agents of malevolence. Bursting from the tree line, she raced toward her home, hoping to escape the darkness. But the animals followed, trailing behind her like a nightmarish horde. Heart-pounding, she reached her front porch and slammed the door shut. Panting, she pressed her back against it. "Mia!" The whispers called from the other side, more urgent now. "Mia, let us in?" The grip of the supernatural tightened like a vice. Suddenly, the doorknob rattled, and the sound of scratching claws echoed through the house. Mia's breath came shallow and quick as she grabbed a heavy lamp, prepared to defend herself. The air grew cold, and the whispers transformed into anguished howls. With trembling hands, she clicked on her phone and dialed Alex's number. It rang, and when her friend answered, Mia shouted, "Alex! You have to help me. It's Milo, he's not himself. It's the woods, something's wrong with them. Mia, stay away from the woods." Alex replied, panic lacing his voice. "I heard the stories. They're not just animals anymore, they're vessels for something darker. You have to." Before he could finish, the door splintered as a clawed paw smashed against it. Mia shrieked and backed away. Shadows poured through the crack in the door, stretching towards her like dark fingers. Mia, in a final surge of adrenaline, she hurled the lamp toward the door. The bulb smashed against the wood, shattering into a rain of glass and sparks. The energy released was enough to push back the shadows, momentarily illuminating the space. The darkness retreated, letting out a shriek that rattled the very foundation of the house, then silence. Breathless and trembling, Mia realized that they were gone. For now, she couldn't forget the whispers or the darkness that had consumed the animals. But she knew one thing. She could never return to those woods again, or she might end up as one of their own, forever lost to the whispers in the dark. As she stood there, shaking with terror, a chilling thought settled in her mind like ice. Whatever had turned Milo and the others was still out there, waiting for someone else to wander too far into the shadowed embrace of the woods.